Naruto, Sakura's 10 best character traits. Sakura doesn't get the greatest writing among Naruto's main cast, but she shows plenty of traits and abilities that make her a great person and ninja. It oftentimes feels like the female characters of the Naruto universe get the short end of the stick when it comes to both personal and emotional development. They aren't utilized as often as their male counterparts. And many of them are delegated to more supportive roles, while the men are out on the front lines, typically with much more intriguing motivations and goals. Early on, Sakura seems to get the worst of this, as her entire character revolves around her then one-sided crush on Sasuke, and she can't cope with the actualities of being a ninja. However, that's not all there is to her, especially as she continues to grow and develop over the course of the series. She's able to prove that she can be just as useful and powerful as the other members of her squad, and she actually possesses a lot of strengths. 10. She never gives up on the people she truly cares about. Throughout all of Sasuke's mistreatment or disregard towards Sakura early on when it came to her feelings towards him, she never once thought about giving up. She was able to remain resilient no matter what, and once she warmed up to him, this extended to Naruto as well. She went as far as to risk her life to make sure both of them stayed safe while unconscious in the forest of death. And later saved Naruto's life on multiple occasions. She even tried to motivate Rock Lee and brought him flowers while in the hospital despite the fact that she didn't share his romantic feelings. 9. She was an observational and intelligent student, ranking near the top of her class. While her physical capabilities on the battlefield were originally lacking, she was never lagging behind when it came to book smarts. She remarked early on that she was prideful that she'd always place at the top of her class in exams. Her intelligence is not to be underestimated, even if her emotional volatility can get in the way of that. Especially when she first starts out. She was able to see past deceit before the Chunin exams began, and even the child prodigy Sasuke himself made a remark about how intelligent she is. 8. Early on, she's able to hide her more negative emotions internally through inner Sakura. Early on, Sakura appears calm and collected in most situations, and frequently shames other characters for being petty or childish, namely Naruto. However, she herself does feel this way in many situations, but she's able to internalize those feelings through what's referred to as inner Sakura. This part of her is actually so pronounced that it almost acts as a second will. During the Chunin exams, she's able to repel Ino's mind-body transfer technique using inner Sakura, something that greatly shocks Ino. 7. She realizes when she's treating others unfairly and works to change. Sakura's treatment of Naruto early on is incredibly harsh and unfair. After it's pointed out to her that her treatment of him is similar to how Sasuke coldly brushes her off, she works to treat him better and cheer him on as she starts to understand how her actions hurt him. Fans see this shift in attitude with Rock Lee, as well. She was quick to make fun of him for his appearance in the beginning and be grossed out by him. But after seeing how much he truly cared for her, she developed a soft spot for him. While he was hospitalized along with Sasuke, she made time to bring Lee flowers and support him. 6. She matures into a self-reliant mother, able to raise her daughter on her own. It might be expected that Sasuke's absence during Sarada's upbringing would have taken a major toll on Sakura. But Sakura is able to maintain a surprising level of faith and optimism when it comes to Sasuke, and she never blames him for not being around as much as they might like. Instead, she raises her daughter with cheerful enthusiasm. She constantly reassures Sarada that Sasuke loves both of them very much and will return home as soon as he's able to, instead of falling into thinking that he might have abandoned them like he did when he first left the Leaf Village. 5. She possessed the mental and physical fortitude needed to withstand Tsunade's training. Not just anyone can train under the legendary Sannin Tsunade herself and be able to bear it. The years of training that Sakura spent as her student were incredibly grueling, and she admits as much to Sarada while the two of them share a meal. This doesn't just apply to the physical training that she had to withstand, but to the immensely precise levels of focus and chakra control required for the medical side of things as well. She never backed down from any of the challenges that Tsunade threw her way. And she became a powerful kunoichi because of it. 4. She learns to place herself in harm's way to shield her allies rather than worrying on the sidelines. Sakura is constantly worried about her teammates, and it weighs heavily on her shoulders that she can't do enough to protect them. Initially, even when she tried, she had to be aided by others in order to stay standing, like in the forest of death. However, this is something that she was able to work on and turn into one of her most powerful assets. Instead of sitting on the sidelines and wishing she could do more for others, she's able to take her newfound physical strength and mental fortitude and actually get on the front lines to help protect them with unwavering courage. 3. She takes her feelings of immense guilt and uses them to become better. At one point, Sai points out that Naruto is constantly placing himself in harm's way or pushing himself too hard simply to protect Sakura. Her feelings, and her desire to see Sasuke again. This nearly crushes her with overwhelming guilt, but she's strong enough to turn this around and harness it in a positive way. Rather than shut down completely after realizing how much she's put Naruto through, she instead focuses on being a better support for him. She begins fighting by his side whenever possible rather than asking him to do everything. And she assists him in his struggles as a Jinchuriki whenever she's able. 1. She knows how to get opponents to lower their guard in order to secure an easier victory. Sakura isn't the same weak, helpless fighter that she was at the start of the series. But one of her best assets in combat is knowing how to use this persona to her advantage. Speaking volumes about her intelligence, she's repeatedly seen misleading opponents. One way she does this is letting her opponents think that they've outsmarted her so they let down their guard. Another is pretending to be defeated so they approach her, making it much easier for her to land a direct hit with her monstrously strong punches.